welcome back to my channel. My name is Harley, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a fair recap. I'm sitting on my show box right now, but I'm going to be giving you guys a free recap. And so, okay, I'm going to start with Sunday and go all the way till today, which is Sunday. And so Sunday, last Sunday we took them in, we set up our stalls, we got them all situated, then we weighed Cosmo in, and I actually have Cosmo and Jasmine back. So Jasmine was my breeding unit and then Cosmo was my market, but I'm going to get to that. So Sunday, we walked around the fairgrounds after we got them all situated. And here's a picture of the stall front. I thought it turned out really, really cute. The stall front, I thought that turned out real pretty, real cute. And so after we got them all situated, we got the stall front done. Like I said, we walked around the fairgrounds and we kind of just waited until 4 because we would feed them and then we would go back home. So we weren't camping. We were kind of just driving back and forth every day. And so we were just, like I said, feeding them at 4, leaving, coming back the next day early so that they would get their food. And so Sunday wasn't that eventful. I don't think there was anything going on Sunday. I don't think so. I think there was Monday, the fair officially started. So Monday we got up there real early. We bathed them after they ate because I had to shear them that day because I shear my sheep 3 days before the show. So I shored them on Monday, and then that was perfect because I showed on Wednesday. So they had, I think, 2 days probably worth of wool growth, which is perfect. And so I kind of just, Monday we washed them, I shortened them, and then I think there was a horse pull on that day, and which was really cool because the horses got up to 8,000 pounds, which I thought was super duper cool. And so I don't have a video of that, but yeah, so Monday we kind of just walked around the fairgrounds, watched what we could if there was anything going on before 4, and then we walked around for a little bit, and then we left. At 4 after we'd feed them and made sure that they had water and hay and grain after they ate. And so Tuesday, we walked around the fairgrounds after we fed them. I rinsed the lambs off because I wanted them to stay somewhat clean, and so I put a sleazy and a blanket on them so that they would stay somewhat clean. I know I did say that I would video this week, but this week was hectic and it was crazy. And I actually didn't expect myself to do this good at the fair, but we'll get to that. So Tuesday we walked around the fairgrounds, rinsed them off, fed them at 4, and left. Now here comes the exciting day, Wednesday. So Wednesday it was my show day, and so I bathed them with soap and water, and then I blew them because I wasn't showing until 10, and we got there I think at 7:30, which was real early for us. We left at 6:30, I believe, which is crazy. So we woke up at 6 each day, or mostly each day, because we had to come down here, do barn work, leave, get up there, and we also had to let the little kittens out. They're doing really good. So we had to let the little kittens out, we had to feed them real quick, and then we had to go. And so basically Wednesday I showed, here's a picture of me. So, okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. So Wednesday I did showmanship, market, breeding, and then there was a couple other exciting things that happened. And so I did showmanship with Cosmo, and so we did really good. We got reserve grand champion, intermediate showman, which I was so impressed with. I didn't think that I could do that good in showmanship. And so me and Cosmo ended up, like I said, getting reserve grand. And now the exciting thing was the girl in front of us that got grand champion had already went to a thing called the round robin. The round robin is something that you guys, well, I can go to at my fair, that you can show horses, pigs, cows, sheep, goats, dairy cows. And so 6 species of animals, which I had to practice. Sorry, the wind is shaking you guys. I had to practice. I started on Wednesday and I practiced until Friday. So basically what I did was we did the showmanship, and then I had to go into the grand showmanship drive with Cosmo, and I ended up winning that. So here is a video of the showmanship and what he had to say. And then I don't think we got a picture, or I mean a video of the grand showmanship drive, but he was very happy because in the first clip you guys could see that he said I needed to scrunch the back down, and if I would have done that one more time, then I would have got grand. And so he was really happy that I did that at the grand showmanship drive. So here you guys go. Here's the video of the showmanship. I don't know if I have the grand showmanship, but there's the video.
Outstanding job of getting their animals shown. And what separates it up here for me today is knowledge of your lamb and understanding how to show that lamb to make it look its best. The young lady up front manages the top line of that lamb super well. That one wants to have just a little too much set in his pocket, which makes that spine come up just a little bit. That young lady understands that about that lamb. Makes sure that top line stays dead level the entire time, even when she knows that lamb is a harder one to show. The young lady that comes out in second, intensity is there, body position is there, attentiveness to the judges there. I just want a little more attention being paid to the lamb. That top line wants to come up every once in a while. Sometimes it's how we have that lamb set up and how it wants to stand. Sometimes we're overdriving that one just a little bit. I love the brace you're getting out of that one. We just got to manage that top line just a little bit better to make sure that lamb looks as good as we do out here. The young lady that comes out here in third also does.
After that, I had to wait until, I think it was like I think it was actually 2 minutes until I had time. And then I had to go back in because Market was coming up. So Market, what we did was, he was in the lightweight since he was 97 pounds. And so we went in, we competed. I ended up getting first and second. I don't know how I got second, but I got first and second in the Market. And then we went into the Grand Market Drive, I think it was. I don't remember. But we went to the big class of Market, and I didn't place in there, but I think we did pretty good. I was very happy with Cosmo, especially because this is my first banner that I ever got. And the lamb that I expected never to get me a banner because of showmanship, because, oh, Athena said so. But anyway, because I actually just started working with him with showmanship, like I said, because I really wanted to work with Jasmine with showmanship. And I worked with him with his showmanship because I figured out that I couldn't bring... What are you going on about? Because I couldn't do showmanship with her because she was an open. And I ended up doing showmanship with him. So I actually... Sorry, my mom had to get a tripod real quick. And so basically what we all did was we kind of just... What was it? Oh, Market. And so I didn't place on there, but I was super duper happy. And because I wasn't expecting Cosmo to ever be the one that got me a banner in showmanship. Because we didn't know that Jasmine needed a special form filled out if I wanted to enter a breeding sheep. So she ended up having to be an open. But that's okay. And he really did pull through. I was really worried about him because on the night before I brought them, he was being a handful. He was being crazy. And I was super worried because I didn't know if he would pull through for me, and he really did, and I'm super duper happy. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got really sad when I remembered that I had to sell him, but it all paid off in the end. And so here's a picture of me and my parents and my one brother in the backdrop with my showmanship banner and the 2 ribbons that I got. Okay, and then so after I had showed him, I didn't actually get that picture until I had to go show Jasmine. So right after that, I ran back and I started getting Jasmine all ready. Actually, my mom ran back for me and started getting her ready. And then I came back and I started helping her. Now, Jasmine doesn't have a lot of shag. She was not blessed with the shag gene. I don't know where he got it from, but she definitely was not, she didn't have any. And so we just brushed it out real quick. We sprayed Show Sheen all over her. Actually Pro Paint. We sprayed that all over her, made sure she was shiny and her hide looked very healthy, and I took her into the ring. Jasmine ended up getting last, I think. Yeah, I believe so, last. Which is okay. He said that she was a very nice lamb and she had the capacity to carry a lot of lambs, which she does because she has a very wide sprung rib. But he wants more of a tubular shape on your sheep. I had to stay later that night because I was in a thing called the Shepherd's Lead Line. And the Shepherd's Lead Line is where you wear at least 65% wool. And so here's what I wore, and we put like a little thing on Jasmine, like a little bow tie on Jasmine, and it was really cute. But here's what I wore. I ended up getting grand champion in that, and I think first and second. And so that was very, very, very cool. I was happy that Jasmine won something, but that was super, super cool. Now, fast forward to Thursday. So Thursday was crazy, and I was honestly in shock. So I know a lot of people probably can't hear the auctioneer. Auctioneers are very fast when they are auctioning off stuff, and I ended up getting $23 a pound for Cosmo. I was actually in shock. So here's the video of that.
Senator Joe Pittman, number 162.
I was in shock. I came out of the show ring and I was like in shock to my mom. I was like, I started crying. I was just in shock so much. It wasn't necessarily so much of the Cosmo part at first. It was honestly something I never expected. I was going there thinking that I was going to get in the middle of the pack with the showman and probably around $4 to $10 a pound for Cosmo. That doubled very quickly, and I was honestly just in shock. I went up to the buyer that had bought my lamb, and as you could hear, it was Senator Joe Pittman. My buyer's gift, if any of you guys are curious, it was, I had baked some sugar cookies on Tuesday, and then I decorated them to look like Cosmo. I don't have a picture of them. And then my mom makes homemade tallow lotions and stuff. Bottle holder that she had made a long time ago, which we gave as well. And then I also gave him a thank you note. But I did not believe that I had gotten $23 a pound for Cosmo. And so the next day, it was Thursday, and Friday I had to go show every species. So on Thursday was also very, very busy because before the auction I was going everywhere. I found dairy cows, I found goats, and I think I worked with steers and pigs again. And that was crazy in and of itself. I didn't have to work with sheep because I obviously show sheep, but I somehow didn't do very good with that. Like I said, the reasoning behind that was probably because he wouldn't brace and stuff. But I honestly did not expect me to do the best in dairy cows and pigs. Pigs out of everything. Pigs were something that I was actually really not expecting to do very good in at all because I was having a hard time with me using the whips and stuff. Because with pigs you use a whip to steer them. You don't hit them hard at all. You just kind of tap them and they'll go. But yeah, that was crazy. And then Friday was the premier showman. I did the horses. Then I did pigs. And then I did, I think it was goats, sheep, dairy cows, and steers. The steers were something that I always wanted to do. So I actually this year just started thinking that I want to do steers, but I'm not going to be able to do steers next year because you have to get them tagged in November, which is, I don't know why you have to get them tagged in November, but you have to get them tagged in November. So I probably won't be able to do that this year, but I think going out to the fair convinced my brother that he wants to do boar goats, and so that's exciting. He's already been working with our dairy goats because he also wants to show one of them, which is very cool. But yeah, Thursday and Friday were crazy. I did not win the Premier Showman, which is okay because that just gives me another chance next year. Hopefully, if I can get into the Premier Showman again. And so that was very, very exciting. And then I think, let's see, what else did I do Friday? I'm trying to think. It seemed a lot longer. Like, the week went so slow, but so fast at the exact same time, which was weird. And so Friday, we did the Premier Showman. And we kind of walked around the fair because there was nothing else going on. And then Saturday, we showed up, and there was an ag contest, which was really cool because what you do is you grab the hay bales. There's like ag contests and stuff like that. And I think me and my mom ended up doing the hay bale toss. And I was going to do a little tractor pull, but I ended up going to talk to people about sheep. So with the money I got for Cosmo, I think we are going to go get, with my money that I got from Cosmo, I'm going to get 2 bred Hampshire ewes, or black-faced ewes. They are bred, and I'm very excited. Well, the one's not bred, they're coming from different people. So I'm very excited for that. I was going to get a Dorset, but people were saying that the white face don't bring as much at a fair because they're not used to seeing it. It's not like they taste different, it's just you're not used to seeing a white face. So Peppermint there is a white face. We think she's a Dorset, and I wanted what's called a Dorset Advantage. Here is a Dorset Advantage. If you guys ever heard of a piebald horse or a paint horse, that's kind of what they are, but in the form of a sheep. So here's a picture of a piebald sheep. That's piebald sheep. I really wanted one of those because they're flashy, but they apparently don't do very good at fairs and stuff. And so I ended up thinking about getting 2 blackface, which is totally fine. And so, Shiny, what are you doing? Oh my god. And so we got, we're thinking about getting those. Hi, Cosmo. Hey, sweet boy. I forgot to tell you guys. So, Thursday, I'm sorry. Oh my god. My brain. Thursday, we sold him at the auction, and the person that bought him decided that they were going to put him into a buyback. Cosmo. Hi, buddy. Into a buyback auction. So I actually did not know that. Jasmine! Oh my god, she's a pig. Anyway, I didn't know that I didn't know that he would end up going into a buyback auction. A buyback auction is when the kid has a chance to buy back the animal that they had sold at the auction. And so I didn't know that there was a buyback auction happening with him. And so I found the person that had bought him back. And luckily, he was going to go to our auction that we go to a lot. When we were actually planning on going up there this week. And so basically, he was going to go up there anyway. But I went and I found the guy, and I asked him if I could potentially buy Cosmo back, and he said yes. And so today, I bought Cosmo back, and I brought him home with Jasmine. And so Cosmo, whenever I get these ewes, he is going to be a halter training buddy, and I'm thinking about training him to pull a cart as well. So he's not completely useless since he is a wether. They don't really serve any purpose, but he's probably the only sheep that I will ever do like that with, because there's not a really huge use for wethers, a lot. So I was super duper excited when I even got to buy Cosmo back, and I honestly did not think that I would be able to buy Cosmo back because I didn't know who he went to. Like I said, I was kind of mad that I didn't know he went to a buyback auction because I didn't know if I would ever see Cosmo again. Because at our fair, the person that had bought the lamb or the animal could go and grab the animal midnight to the next day. And so technically, if he was not bought back, somebody could have just come and picked him up. Whoever had bought him could have just come and picked him up. He loves that thing, by the way. It's a feed pin that's flipped upside down. He loves standing on it. But somebody could have, and I wouldn't be able to ask. And so I'm very happy that I was able to ask if I was able to buy him back. I'm very happy they said yes. So today we went there and we picked them up. We got everything put together, And yeah, so basically that was my fair week. And it was very hectic. And here's, like I said, there's a video of the auction and everything in there. But here's a couple of pictures of the showmanship and the Supreme Showman. Some of the pictures I can't download because the fair ended up paying for all the pictures, but the people, I don't know why I can't. There's not a download button for lambs, goats, or I think it was pigs. So here are some pictures. I think it's steers, dairy cows, and there is one goat picture in there because I screenshotted it. But here's a picture of that. So that there are the pictures of the Supreme Showman. I was so excited. This, like I said, this is my first year in 4-H and going to a fair. Last year I had went to a thing called the Jamboree Jackpot, which is at the same fairground, but it's only 2 days long. And horse brain mentality, because I barrel race, jackpots are usually smaller than rodeos, and fun shows are just small little like horse shows, so you don't really win anything if you go. Jackpots can either be big or small, not quite as big as a rodeo. Rodeos are the biggest thing that you can go to, and my brain thought that a jackpot was going to be small for the sheep industry. No. Jackpots are like rodeos in the horse industry, and fairs are like jackpots. And so I thought the fairs were going to be the biggest thing that you could go to. No. Jackpots were. And I brought Lily last year, and she didn't even need to be 7 foot into that jackpot. And I told my mom when I left there that I was never going to lose again. And dedication pays off. And dedication and hard work really does pay off. And so I was so excited that my first year I got to go to the Supreme Showman and I got to Reserve Grand, and that was something that I never thought that I would be saying. I never thought that I would actually get any of that, and I'm so happy that I did, because it was a blessing in disguise. The one thing, when I had went to the fair, I was not, Cosmo was, I don't want to say crazy. He wasn't crazy. He just wasn't the lovable list. And Jasmine, she's a teddy bear. She's just a teddy bear. Cosmo, if I went in there right now, he'd probably let me catch him, but before that, he would not let me catch him. And so, when I tell you, he got sweet real fast, and he started turning into a teddy bear. And I was having a really hard time thinking to myself that I would have to let him go. And so things just worked out perfectly. And I'm very excited to get my new sheep. And I'm going to buy a blower with my money and stuff like that. So I'm very excited for next year because my brother's going to have some show goats. I said to him that I would buy him a show goat with the money I earned from the auction if he was serious about it, and that he would just have to pay me back for the auction when he sold his market goat. And so I'm kind of excited to see him show goats. Goats aren't my thing because in the one goat picture, the goat is going straight up in the air, and I'm just kind of standing there like, I don't know what to do. And so I had a video of the Supreme Showman of the goat, but it stopped right before. Well, after that, I set the goat back up after it got back up, and it got out of its halter and started running amok. And so I was like, I don't know what to do because I don't know how to handle goats. And so we kind of just went through it, and the goat got loose, and I caught it. And by the time I caught it, it was the time to come out of the class, which is kind of funny. But goats are crazy. I hope my brother can do it. I think he can, but pigs are probably something we'll never do. But steers are something I want to get into, but I don't know if I can. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I couldn't film for you guys the whole week of the fair. It was very crazy. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. don't forget, dedication is key. And we will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.